Hello there and welcome to We Are Crafted in His Image. It's Tammy and I'm excited to be starting our fourth round of Coco and Crafts class. This month we're going to be using the Always in My Heart stamp set and making some really pretty fun heart anniversary Valentine-ish projects. So let's see what's in your kit. You get the Always in My Heart stamp set, of course. You will have Mossy Meadow and Rococo Rose ink pads. The kit also includes one of our new blending brushes. We're going to use it for a couple of the projects. And of course your 4 project kits, 1, 2, 3, and 4. There's a loose piece, actually 2 pieces in your kit. Those will go in the very first project we're going to do today. And then of course you will get some cocoa, some chocolate. So we have some Russell Stover Pecan Delights in this month's kit. So you can snack and share whatever you want to do with them. So I'm going to set these aside. I'm going to move, and I do apologize. I know there is some reflection going on here. I'm recording these in the evening and I'm trying to get good lighting so you can see what I'm doing. However, I haven't figured out how to do it so it doesn't reflect off of the stuff on this side. So I'm working with it. We're going to see how it goes. I hope it's not too bad. So let's get out. We need project number 1. We're going to move our inks. I don't think we're using, yes, we are using this today for one little bit of it. We need that. We need this. And I'm going to set these ones aside. Now, for today's project, I am only going to do 1. I did not order enough. I didn't get my order in yet. So your kits, you have 2 of each. Oh, and this is the project that we're going to make. If this looks familiar, it's because I pretty much cased it right out of the catalog. If you look on the page that Always in My Heart stamp set is in, this is pretty much the project. I just thought it was such a pretty project. Now I did change a few things, like I added a handle on this side to help in the opening and closing of it. I could have actually put it on both sides, but I opted for just the one so you know that that's a handle to kind of grab a hold of it. So we're going to get started with this one. And like I said, I'm only going to do 1 to demonstrate because I don't have enough of these for me to do 2, but everyone else did. All the other kits had 2 in there. So, and now I'll have 2 anyway. So let me put that aside. And we're going to start with, let's get our stuff out of our bag. And again, you will have 2 of everything. And there is an envelope with your little pieces. The envelope is not for this project. It is for your second project, but I needed something to put all these little tiny flowers and leaves in. So put that in your kit number 2. Move these over here and we're going to start assembling this piece. This is the part that goes in and out, the little drawer. What you want to do, I have already put some tear and tape on one of the flaps. So go ahead and grab your piece of ribbon that is in the kit and take off the backing on that tear and tape. And then you can decide if you want your ribbon. I'm going to go ahead and stick one side down so you can see. Just stick it to it. And you can decide if you want it to be more of like a handle, like sticking out like that, or if you want it more flush to the side, almost like it was just a design, just a ribbon going across. I opted to have mine sticking out a little bit on this one, but I think I'm actually going to have it sticking out a little further on my sample. So let me see. I'm just sticking this down, and then you see it's sticking out, so you can tell that's meant to be a handle to pull it out. Okay, does that make sense? All right, so now what we're going to do, all of these go in except for the very last, like this big one is going to go out. These will go in, these will go in, these will go in, but these tabs here go out. These 2 go in. This goes in, and this last one goes out. So the 4 edge ones go out, the rest of them all go in. And then to put it together, let me move that out of the way so you can see. You're going to just lift that up. This comes up and over. slides down. Now you can put some adhesive on here if you want, but you'll find you don't really need to. I am, however, going to put some adhesive on this just because that's tear and tape there, but I want to make sure this isn't going to pull out. So I'm going to go ahead and grab some Stampin' Seal, and I'm just going to rub it across there and here, just so that it's just doubly adhered. You don't have to do that step. I'm just going to, I want to make sure it's not going to pull out. So that goes in. This goes in. I don't know if you can see very well. Push that down. Okay, and then on this one here, you want the smaller side to go in first. There's a little notch cut out of it. You want to stick that in. You see that holds that in pretty well for you. Then this one, you see this tab, it's then going to go on the bottom and lock itself into the little notch that's cut out. And there is our base, already done, ready to go. Okay, so set that over there. And now we're going to work on this. And actually, I do want this back because I found it was a little easier to put this on while it was around the box. Ta-da! Now, I didn't bother scoring this because all we're going to do is wrap it around the box. This is the top. Let's just give it a wrap. Give it a wrap. Kind of use your fingers. First I'm eyeballing it around before I really make any creases to make sure I am wrapping it straight. Okay, and then once I know I'm wrapping it straight, I'm just going to use my hand and just crease that. And then the same thing here. And then I'm going to go ahead and tighten that up and do the same thing here. Okay, so now we've got it creased. Just to make sure it's going to stay put, you can use either adhesive. I'm just going to run kind of right down the middle. And that's just going to hold it flat. Now, I did put some tear and tape on one end for you. So, oh, come on. Come off of there. There we go. So now I'm going to go back, make sure I've got the, well, it doesn't matter. I can always pull the drawer out, but that's my top. This is my top. Get that centered on there nicely where I've already made my creases. And you'll notice that it doesn't go exactly all the way to the edge. It's not supposed to. This is 4 inches wide. This is just slightly bigger than 4 inches. But to save on paper, 12 inches cuts into 4 inches much easier. Oh, I stuck it down. Ah! Don't stick to my paper. See if I can get it off. Yes, got it off. All right. So that's down. Lift up to this side, and my tear and tape is on this one, so I'm going to lay that one down first, and then the tear and tape on top. Get rid of the little piece that's stuck. And there, that piece is finished. Pulls in and out. Good to go. So now, pull this over here so I can see, make sure I know what I'm doing. In your envelope, there is a piece of vellum. It has been cut with, let me find it real quick. Oops, I have an extra one in there. Come on out of there. Ah, I have an extra gold piece in there. These are the Tasteful Labels dies. Oh, there we go. Get that out. And you can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 dies in here. All really pretty. You can use it for all kinds of different sentiments. But I used this one and I used this one. We're going to use those two. So let's do our stamping. The only stamping, actually we have a little bit of stamping. We want to stamp on this. We're going to stamp on our flowers. We're going to stamp our leaves. Some of the leaves. There are some leaves that are not stamped. Okay, so each of the boxes you have will need 3 flowers, 2 of the big leaf clusters, and 2 of the small leaf clusters. Alright, so let's start with the flowers. And it is this one here. And then let me grab. Now this stamp set has outlines and I don't know what you call it, fill-ins, I guess, insides for the image. So there's an outline and then there is a solid. We're not going to use the solid on the flower for this one. We are going to use the solid for the leaves though. So we'll need both of those and both of those. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this leaf here. And I'll go and grab that one while I'm at it. And then I will get the other one out in a second. So let's do the flowers first. Get out the pink. I have a mess here. Let me move some of this stuff out of the way. We don't need to have everything out here, do we? Okay, so thankfully these are photopolymer. So we're gonna ink this up and try and get it lined up on our paper, our little cutouts. And there we go, not bad. Let's do it again. 1, 2. Now mind you, you will do 6 of these because you have 2 boxes. And 3. There we go. Actually, we do want the center. I totally forgot. That's how I did that. Let me put this here away and grab the center for the flower. Now, I don't know if you can see in here very well, but the center is much darker than the outside edge. These two I left blank. This one I just wanted to add a little bit of color. So the way I did that was to use our little brush, tap it on here, tap some of the excess on a scrap piece, and then I just gently tapped it. Actually, we don't have to tap the excess off. I tapped it in the middle of that solid image and then stamped it onto my flower. So let's see what kind of a look we got. Come on, come on. There we go. See how it gives you just a soft look and it kind of fades out on the edges rather than being a harsh. I probably could have done this directly on there, but I think by doing it this way, it just gives it a little bit softer look. So that is that. Now let's do our leaves. We're gonna do the small ones first. I don't think we need the pink anymore. I'm gonna put that away. I love this color. It's such a pretty color. Such a pretty color. Okay, so there's that. Set that aside. Let's grab the green and we're going to use this full strength on here. I really hope my head doesn't get in there. I'm trying not to, but it's kind of hard to get and look straight on it without getting my head in the camera. Oh, good job. All right. And then we're going to do the fill-in, the solid, but for this we want a much lighter look. So we're going to stamp off first and then stamp inside our leaves. And I love the photopolymer for that. It's so easy to line it up. So easy. There we go. So we've got those two done. Now let's quick switch over to the larger leaves. One, and what I do with the, oh, there it is, there it is. Get the solid and the outline, or the other way around. There we go. So again, you'll do 4 of these and 4 of these. So let's line that up. Ta-da! Line this one up. Oh, I think I'm off on that one. Yeah, a little bit on the bottom, but not too bad. Not too bad. And stamp off first. And fill in our leaves. Yay! stamp off and fill in. There we go. Okay. Let's set those aside. Now, the only other stamping we have is our sentiment. And we're doing the best kind of friend is a friend like you. So let me grab this. And we're going to ink that up. And there is a little bit, I don't know if you can see it in there, but there's a little bit of embossing around the edge. So you want to find that first. And then you could center. I think I went slightly up. The U comes down pretty far there, so it is kind of centered. And there we go. There's our words. And now it's time to assemble. Put things together. Close this up. Move these out of the way. So we have our flowers stamped, our leaves stamped, our words stamped, and our box. So let's start putting together. Now, the adhesive for this, you only want to make sure it's just in the middle. Otherwise, it's going to show, and you don't really want the adhesive to show through there. So we're going to put it in the middle, and then our sentiment one will cover that up. So, can you see it? You can totally see that line. Just center that on your box. That's okay. We're going to cover that up. And then we're going to put some dimensionals on here. Get my dimensionals out. 1, 2, and I think I'll put a third one in the middle. There we go. In my little box, my little trash. 2, 3. We're going to go ahead and stick that in the middle. There we go. Okay, now what I found was easiest was I glued these two on to here, and then this one got a dimensional behind it. So we'll just use, I gotta use a dimensional here. And grab my glue, which is almost empty. I actually am just going to stick the glue right up on here. And you could use regular adhesive for this part if you want. I just like liquid glue because it gives me an opportunity to move these around a little if I need to. Okay, and then this one, actually I should have used a half a dimensional. Oh no, I think I got it. It'll fit on there. Or I should have pushed it further to the bottom. Let me see if I can get it to go on the bottom. Yeah, I'm going to take this one off and I'm going to use a half a dimensional just because it will allow me. Let's just cut this one in half. It's still pretty sticky. Okay, where's the bottom of my flower? There we go. Down like this, and like that, and that will allow me to pop this over the top of those two, and that dimensional won't get in the way. There we go. That's what we want to do. And see how I can still move those around because the glue hasn't fully set yet. There we go. Now, I did put a dimensional behind this flower, or leaf, and this leaf because I wanted them to pop up a little and to help hold these up, to give them a little dimension. So I'm going to go and do that right now so I don't forget when I get ready to put it together. And that will obviously, this one will need to be a half a dimensional behind this one. And I think I did a half a dimensional behind this one too. Alright. So the rest of them, what I like to do to make it a little easier is grab a little piece of my paper here. I'm going to squeeze a little bit of glue in the corner. And you could do this on a silicone mat if you want. I'm just going to use scrap paper though. And then I'm going to just kind of dip the ends in there and kind of lay them where I want them to go. Like that one's going to go here. We have the short one. It looks like right about here. This one with the dimensional on it. Put a little bit of glue on the bottom. I'm going to tuck that down here like that. And then this one I'm going to put a little bit more glue so that it can stick to this one. And stick it down on top. There we go. And let's see, I think this one should go in first on the other side. What about here? Does that look good? I like doing it this way with the glue. If I try squeezing glue on there, I end up with way more than I need. And this way I can just pick up a little bit and you don't have quite as much sticky to deal with. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this last one right up in here. And sometimes if I can't reach in there to make sure it's sticking down, I want to use my pokey tool. Just kind of push those down, make sure they're adhering to the base. There we go. And then our last one that has a dimensional on the back, and I'm going to tuck the end of it just underneath that flower. And there you go. Guess what? We're done. You can play with these. You got a few minutes before that glue sets if you want to move them around. And there we have, oh wait, no, we're not done. We're going to put some gems on there. Now these are originally just plain white gems, but I used the dark Rococo Rose blend to color them to coordinate with our flowers. So we're just going to pop these off. Let's see, one down here, put a little one up a little higher, and then another one over here somewhere. Now we finished our project. There we go. So what do you guys think? Oh wait, it's not finished. It needs chocolate. We have 1, 2, 3 pieces of chocolate you can stuff in there. And there you go. I hope you enjoy this project. I hope you have a chance to give it to someone special, whether it be for Valentine's Day or just to let somebody know that you appreciate them as a friend. So next week we will be back with a card. I believe it is an anniversary card. It's the first one we're going to be making, but I am not positive. I will have to look at the projects. So until then, you have a great week. Happy crafting and God's love and blessings to you. Bye.